the feeds finally came back up, and they're back up on Rylie again. Only this time, he's kind of got like glassy eyes, like he's kind of tearing up a little bit. He's kind of pouting with Catherine. He says, "It's not fair. It's not fair." Because turns out Mickey used her power and dethroned Rylie to become the new HOH.
Oh, I've been waiting for this turn. I've needed this Red Bull. I did not want to give that up. I have not slept. We are celebrating right now. We are absolutely celebrating because he was dethroned. Against all odds, he was dethroned. But Taran, this is like a heist movie. Now we got to hit him with the flat. Well, now we got to go back and tell him what happened.
Yes. So Rachel talking about not being worried because apparently Mickey enlisted Rachel's help to try to obfuscate who may have this power. So Rachel, I think, was already trying to imply, I'm not worried. You never know what's going to happen. And talking about it with people who even weren't Rylie, just in case that like somebody like Zach goes up there and Zach was the one most convinced that Mickey had this. Now, let's be clear. Everyone knew that Mickey had this power. Zach straight up basically caught her getting it and has spread that around to the house. And everyone has only ever talked about Mickey having this power for the last like 2 weeks. I've said it all along, though. Those interrogations are more harmful than they are good, because just like when you play Blood on the Clock Tower and you doubt yourself at the last moment, Rylie doubted himself. Rylie specifically has been talking about like it's obvious Mickey has this power. But with the help of Rachel, with the help of Morgan talking about like, I don't know, I feel like maybe Ashley has the power. And apparently also during the interrogations, Ashley is up there pulling heat onto herself. Like, oh man, I'm sorry. Oh, I didn't realize you wouldn't get your picture.
That's diabolical. That really is. Because so Taran, to give them a little bit more of a picture in case this is someone who just did not know what was going on last night. So the feeds do get cut, and I didn't think twice about it. I thought, okay, we're gonna probably have the have-nots chosen, and then we're gonna like get the HOH from whatever. And then I realized, oh, it's pets. Oh, it's been 20 minutes. Oh, this is why the HOH room hasn't been revealed this late yet. So it dawned on me what was going on. And again, when I was watching the feeds before this, not knowing this was happening, you could very clearly see Mickey pushing also that it's Ashley, Morgan pushing that it's Ashley. That's kind of where they're leaning. And you could tell that Keanu had grabbed onto this because he was like when him and Rylie were talking, it was very clear they had Ashley number 1, Mickey number 2 as who might have the power. A little bit of Rachel here and there, a little bit of Morgan, but it was mostly those two. So never in my wildest dreams that I think this would work, because I mean, we obviously didn't see any of it. We didn't see any interrogation, nothing. That would have been fun feeds, but we didn't get that. I think what I would like to find out is how the interrogation goes. Is it like you can only ask direct questions, or is it a back and forth with the person you're interrogating? They can give you who they think it is. I need a little bit more context.
Yeah, I mean, it would have been very fun to watch, but
100%.
Especially because, like, the edit is probably not going to be as fun as it would have been to watch this live. But yeah, he went through the interrogations and ultimately chooses Ashley. He thinks Ashley is the one trying to take over his HOH after weeks of them knowing for sure that it was Mickey. And also, again, like, what is Zach doing still? He knows it's Mickey, and this HOH, despite the fact that they are not trusting him as much right now, still very good for him. And still is apparently like just hands off, or maybe he tried to tell Rylie
that.
But
yeah. Like maybe he tried to tell Rylie and Rylie was like, nope, this guy backstabbed us. I'm not listening to him. Keanu's again, he's bottom of my list. I don't listen to him. So maybe that's what happened. Maybe they doomed themselves into not listening to him potentially. Or Zach just didn't say anything because I don't know. He just didn't push.
Didn't push hard enough. And so the feeds come back to a pouting Rylie. He wasn't scared, but apparently he needed to be. And he is just in pout mode the entire night. And Ashley is giving him a pep talk. Like it's the tables have turned. And so apparently after he got this wrong, he had kind of like crashed out. He was like, "You're an effing liar. F you, Mickey." And so didn't go super well for Rylie. We were talking about this, I think, last night. Will the dethroned HOH have safety for the week? As of right now, the answer to that question seems to be no. Now, that's what we think. That's what they think. We have seen this in the past, specifically with Quinn's HOH, that we might think something, they might think something, and then production might step in and go, actually, we've decided it's this. But as of right now, it seems as though Rylie is not safe and very much an option to be nominated.
Yeah, I think that the more I've sat with it, the more it does. Like, the man didn't get the HOH room, the basket, nothing. He didn't get the key. He just won the comp and then it got dethroned. So to me, he didn't get to be the HOH versus with Angela, she was legitimately the HOH and then Quinn deep faked it, which meant it was still Angela, but someone stole Angela's identity and was making the nominations instead. So technically she was the HOH. So I think that's the difference for me. Now, obviously, they could be like, nope, he won a comp, he's safe, that's it. And that would be fair because, I mean, he did win a competition, so to give him safety makes sense. But given the level of crash out, it doesn't feel like he's safe. You know what I mean?
No. And as I said, Mickey like fully intends to try to, get him on the block this week, especially after, she just stole his HOH and he's super pissed about it. So she does talk about nominations with Mickey, and later with Ashley. And so the main thing with Mickey is that, or sorry, with Morgan, is that they have sort of come up with a lie, which is, it was the last week that it could be used. That this power could be used. So I was almost forced to use it. It's not that I didn't trust you or that I wanted to take over your HOH. It's that this was the last week to be used. So I had to use it. They are going to try to perpetuate this lie. Rylie, though, does not believe it because apparently in his altercation with Mickey, she already basically said, I knew you were going to put me up. So he's like, well, obviously we know, like, I know that you used it on purpose in this way. So people are asking, is that legal? That's a good question. I would actually qualify that as you probably should get shut down trying to make up that lie that it was the last week to use it. It's borderline, but I would say it's over the line. I would say you shouldn't be able to say that.
I hadn't thought about it till people started raising that question. Because I was like, oh, this is great for them, but exactly why it shouldn't be the case then. It's like the consequence. Yeah.
I mean, he doesn't believe it anyway, but yeah, I think that's probably something they should put a stop to.
Yeah.
So in discussing nominations again, Mickey definitely looking at Rylie and Catherine. Definitely those are two of the sort of primary options right now. And Kelly and Keanu also, of course, options. So once again, in many ways, this has kind of worked out almost exactly as Ava had talked about. But specifically in the way that, like, because Mickey had to overthrow specifically Rylie's HOH, whereas before she may have looked at Vince, maybe, she now definitely has to deal with Rylie and Catherine and Keanu and Kelly. So Ava's argument actually ended up kind of making some sense, even though it might not have in a different circumstance.
Listen, we fell into it backwards, but it works. It fits. And I think the question we have to ask ourselves here, Taran, is who is the idea of those four? Let's say if it has to be those four with the renom, who is the best one to get out for Mickey's game of the four?
Of the four, that's a good question. Really, many of them, I would say, honestly, probably Keanu at this point. Because Keanu is still one of the least flexible people, and there's a problem with Keanu where he believes that he's pulled Rachel and Jimmy, whereas
Right.
Catherine and Rylie have like a less rigid view of the house and are more likely to target additional people alongside Mickey, like Rachel and Jimmy, or even maybe Zach someday. Whereas, Keanu is never going to waver from his stance that like Mickey, Morgan, Ashley are his enemies, and it's specifically those three. So I do actually feel like Keanu is probably the best outcome here.
My immediate thought was, well, he's got a permanent spot on the block, so she can just let the next person go for him. She can get someone out who really hasn't touched the block or has really been experiencing fire, like a Rylie, especially if Riley's like crashed out on her. But overall, it does make sense for Keanu to be the one to go. But I'm tired. I'm tired. I'm tired of the same two people on the block. So I kind of want them to not be the two on the block. But then also, if one of them doesn't go, there are always going to be options to be on the block. So this is kind of what we talked about with Adrian leaving versus a Kelly. That two candidates for the block are still present.
I mean, I would say for sure you try to make sure that at least one of Keanu or Rylie leaves. I don't think Kelly is a valuable enough target specifically for Mickey because listen, all four of them are targeting Mickey to some degree, but Kelly's probably targeting Mickey the least because she's more focused on Rachel and that whole deal. So Kelly's probably the last person you want to see leave amongst the four of them. Then Rylie and Keanu have now demonstrated that they are both capable competitors. They've won competitions, so they should be the primary targets. And then between the two of them, I think Keanu is just a little more focused on her than Rylie is. But either way, you'd ideally want one of the two of them out. And so, I think then, do you put them both up with Catherine? Do you put them both up with maybe like Kelly? You kind of don't want Kelly on the block if you don't have to, because she's just too dangerous to leave up there on eviction night. So maybe it's Keanu, Rylie, Catherine, and then you really hope that one of them doesn't win the veto. If they do, then maybe both of them end up safe for the blockbuster. But if you try to backdoor both of them, that's obviously not possible. So you just have to put both of them on the block, I think. So yeah, I think it's probably just Catherine, Rylie, Keanu. Should be what she does. That's not necessarily what she said.
That makes the most sense. I mean, and I don't know how much they would know this, but if Rylie was to win the veto at that point, he would probably use it on Catherine and stay on the block. Most likely.
I forgot about that. Oh yeah, that's definitely a worthy.
Yeah. So that's definitely something to keep in mind. But yeah, I mean, it's a combination of those three. Also, if I remember correctly, and maybe this is just my mind on no sleep, but there before all this went down, there was conversation of who they're gonna assign to be the have-not, and someone mentioned it was Kelly's birthday week. So I think that birthday week could pay some goodwill off for Kelly to not be on the block either, to begin with, unless she volunteers, which again, never out of the equation.
This is RHAP. We know reality TV.